Well, great win for the Runnin Utes on senior night. Cal's been playing so well, and obviously they're very well coached. They got some players on that side. Our guys did a heck of a job making it hard on those guys. They have some guys that can really go, and you watch as much film as we have, and the Jalen Tyson has just been elite. He has been unbelievable. The first time I watched him play, obviously the basketball world's small, and just, making sure some friends know about him, and meaning NBA people, and they all know about him now for sure. But he's been unbelievable. They have a good team. They can really get going and score in bunches, and we just couldn't separate. I thought we had a great team effort. I thought we played very well on the defensive end, held them to 0.84 points of possession, which is very good. And for our team, that's outstanding because we've had some issues on that end of the floor. And we did a really good job following our game plan, making life hard on them. Of course, they're going to hit some shots. They have some really talented guys. But I just thought we played super connected. And then on the offensive end, we scored at 1.3 points a possession, and it was a bit of everybody. Just played super connected, had 20 assists again tonight. I felt like early, we were so wound up for senior night. And I thought we had some really kind of, I'm not going to say senseless turn, but we had some turnovers just, but when we weren't turning it over, we had great looks all night long. But we were able to kind of steady the ship that way, had 4 turnovers in the second half, and just had a lot of clean looks. So I just thought at the end of the day, played super, super connected all week. Proud of our guys, how we responded, because there's certainly been some tough times here recently, and our guys really galvanized. And we had a great week of practice. I said that to I guess it was Bill in the pregame on Thursday, and felt very confident. Usually when you have good weeks of practice, usually it translates into the games. And not always, but most of the time. And give our guys a ton of credit for the leadership and responding and coming together at this time of year when sometimes when things aren't going well, it can go the other way very, very fast. So that's a big time credit to our guys in that locker room. And then both these teams that we played, they can crank it up from that 3 and they can get it going. Stanford had 19 threes and 16 threes in games, and these guys can really get it going. So I just thought our communication was really, really on point. On the end of the floor, 47-29 on the glass, 40-26 in the paint. So many great individual performances. Lawson Levering, 6 offensive boards. Kebaketa, 4 offensive boards with 11 points and 10 rebounds on 5 attempts. Certainly, Gabe was 17, and Gabe Matson guarded was the primary defender on Jalen Tyson and just did an unbelievable job with him. And then I thought Davon Smith defensively was really good as well, making things very difficult on the Cone kid. And that kid can get it going. And we hit that first 3, which was a very difficult shot. I was like, oh boy, here we go. And then of course Brandon on senior night just really, really played one of the best games. John just told me he's had 3 30-point games now this year, first time since Van Horn has done that. So anytime you do something like that and your name is in the same sentence as Van Horn, I think that says a lot. But 30 and 10. Then I'll end it like this before we open up. I just thought our guys had just a great look to them. And when you get to senior night, it can work a lot of ways. There's a lot of emotion that goes into it if you are a tight-knit group, and I feel like our group is. So it's amazing what can happen when you really want to play for them, because you get one senior night. Well, with COVID, maybe you get 2, but for the most part, and that's a night I think you always remember if you do it right. Typically, your family's here, your loved ones are here, et cetera, et cetera. Last game at the Huntsman Center for the season, and it just felt like, and we have a great group of guys, and I felt like they just played really, really hard and connected for them.
Great. Sorry. Go ahead. We've talked last little bit about how Brandon's kind of been up and down a little bit, not really used to putting his stamp on the game like he did tonight. Was there anything that you noticed that maybe allowed him to do that? Maybe, I understand senior night, but is there anything maybe that changed the look that you saw tonight?
Yeah, so first of all, listen, when you're a really good player, you're a marked man every night. It's just how it is. People are going to game plan for you and to try to take you out of it and make other people beat you. So that guy has seen about every kind of coverage you can imagine. And then some of it's matchups too, right? Depending on who you're playing, and there's just times you go through ups and downs throughout the season. I think one thing that's really helped Brandon and our whole team is feel like we've kind of really tried to shrink things down. But I thought we got back to, I don't want to say back to the basics, but got back to who we were when we were really playing at a high level. And, for a while, I feel like we lost some of that. And our assist numbers were down. Our offensive field goal percentage was down. But I felt like we were dribble happy and just not executing our half-court sets, not playing the way we're supposed to play. But you kind of learn your team a little bit, and we have a different team, quite frankly, since Raleigh's been out. So we've had to fine-tune some things. A couple guys have been really banged up that, we've talked about Gabe a little bit, but it's not just Gabe. So it's a little bit of everything, and I just felt like the connectivity today and using our dribble this whole week, using our dribble with a purpose, playing connected, executing our half-court offense, and just having a more, like you'd say in football, you want to have a passing attack and a running attack, right? And I felt like we had a lot more of that than we've had over the last month. And I think that helps BC, but it doesn't just help BC, it helps everybody. And then he just had that look tonight. You could see it at senior night. So his last game in the Huntsman. And it means something to him. I mean, that dude's a fifth-year guy here, growing up in this state. It just means a little bit more, and he played like, you'd expect that kind of guy to play.
Craig, in a game like this where, Cal was able to stay so close for there into the second half for a bit, how important was it to be able to really shut down their second chance opportunities? Because I think they got 2 points, and that came way late.
Huge emphasis for tonight's game because they do shoot a lot of threes. And when you shoot threes, long shots equal long rebounds. And so you got to have discipline. When that shot goes up, we call it zombie rebounding, where you can just run to the rim like a zombie. And when you miss a three, they go long. So you just got to be on point with that. And then Fardaz he averages just over 4 offensive boards a game. He's a load down there. He's one of the best rebounders in the country. He only had 5 rebounds tonight. We did a really good job on him. 15 points. He had 15, but he had 14. It took him 14 shots to get to 15. And we really challenged our bigs all week against Stanford and against these guys. We have to do the job. And that's credit to Lawson, credit to Kaba, a little bit BC. He played a few possessions of the 5. So got to be able to rebound. I think a big key to being a good rebounding team is your guards got to be able to rebound. And I thought we showed a lot of discipline tonight, or today. Tonight. Yeah, it is tonight, isn't it? Tonight.
It seemed like when Lawson picked up that little ticky-tack foul on the other side, that something galvanized him. I mean, do you see maybe something change in him when he gets those? Because he seemed like he played with a little bit more passion than he normally does.
Well, here's what I'll tell you. I think Lawson, since his injury, Lawson's a very good player. He was a 4-star out of high school. He continually gets better. What's exciting is I think he's just gonna. I just think he's gonna take his game to a different level, next year. But when he missed that time, he missed those 5 or 6 games, whatever it was. I mean, basically missed the whole Stanford game as well. And I think I've shared this with you a couple times. Coach, I just see the game so differently than I've ever seen it before. Now that I've sat out and missed this, he has really embraced who he is as a player. He's a very competitive kid. He's very competitive, and he takes a lot of pride in his team and how he plays. And I think you realize we have a quiet team. We do. Our team is a little bit quiet. Lawson's easily our best voice out there and our best communicator. And he's become this different guy out there. He's an elite post defender. It's hard to score on him in the post. He's legit 7-1 with great instincts. So yeah, he has a different look to him. But I thought he competed very, very well. I wasn't playing him enough, quite frankly. 3 weeks ago, when you have a quiet team, your best communicator needs to play because it just makes you so much better. And he's a big time safety net for the rest of our guys. And here's the other thing. I love how aggressive he's gotten on scoring. He's starting to attack. Started to play much more aggressive and confident on that end of the floor.
senior night. I mean, just how does that feel to be able to have that kind of performance in your last show?
Damn good. It feels good. It's I'm gonna get emotional, but last game in the Huntsman Center. I've loved this program and my time here, and just be able to get another win with this team, and knowing that we still got more to go and accomplish is, all that I can ask for. And, I'm so thankful for the fans and, the coaches and everyone who's been a part of this journey. And, it's just going to be a tough adjustment, leaving here after this year. So, but, yeah, I did so good all day not crying.
We're going to come eventually.
I did so good. But, I just, it's, it feels good to, come have a good game for your last time in the Huntsman Center. So.
Gabe or Ben or Colt, any one of you three, just if you could kind of share your thoughts kind of on Brandon and just on this senior day for everybody.
Yeah, super happy for him. Obviously, he's been here 5 years, and it's really cool to see him go out like that. And that was our emphasis before the game, was like do it for the seniors. And yeah, I feel like that was a good way to end the season at the Huntsman.
Sure. No, BC's been great. Obviously, he's been here the longest compared to any of us, but the legacy he's built here, and the way he wants to finish the season, the way we want to finish the season, we're not done yet. He knows that, but no, we're lucky to have him. He's a great teammate.
Yeah, BC's a great leader. He had a great last game in Huntsman. He's put a lot of work into it over those 5 years, and I think for us four, it was a lot of fun having a big win in our last game here. So it was a good way to go out at home.
Craig says this week has been kind of one of those weeks where you guys had to look internal and get back to the basics of when you guys are playing well. What happened that allowed you guys to be able to have that this week where you have 2 really solid wins?
I think we just had we practiced pretty hard and had a meeting after and just kind of talked about what we expected of ourselves and laid out a couple bullet points of our identity, and I think we stuck to that this week and keep building on that the next 2 games. We got a lot to play for, so.
You guys are still in contention for a top 4 seed in the Pac-12. I mean, what does it mean after maybe the up and down February that you've had, that you're still there, you're still in the mix to be able to kind of get what you need to get?
I think it means a lot. I know people always want to look past this and that. We're just going to take it one game at a time, and kind of how we approach practice lately, attack each day, and we know that we put ourselves in good position, but we got to fight every game, and we're excited to take on the next opponent.
Brandon, what is it that you have most confidence in about your team as a whole right now, whatever that may be?
It's just that I just believe that this team can get it done, defensively, offensively. I think there's not a thing I don't believe in that this team can do. I think we have so many weapons, and I think we've really taken a step up, especially this week in our competitive edge on the defensive end, and I think that's really paying off for us right now. I just have the ton of belief in these guys, and I trust them with my life. So.
Brandon, California played you pretty tough. They were aggressive, physical. You still kind of usurped your power. I mean, what kind of went into that, and just kind of your mentality going into that, knowing that you still needed to keep kind of getting yours?
I think it was just a great job from my team. I think I had a little bit of a hot hand, and they did a good job of finding me when I was open and creating plays for me to be able to get some easy buckets. And I got to do a better job of kind of being tougher with the ball. I think I had 4 turnovers tonight, but I just got to be stronger with that. And just credit to my team, because without them, I wouldn't have been able to do what I did.
Gabe, Coach said that you guys had, quote, a really good look about you today. What's your take on, what this team looks like when it looks good? How do you take that out on the road these next 2 games? If you win these, you're up to 20 wins.
Yeah.
There's a big difference between 18 and 20 wins.
No, for sure. I just said on radio that with everything this team has to play for, if we can't get together and take this on the road, then I think we don't deserve it. I think, like I said, we just got a lot to play for, and we got a veteran group, and we know exactly what we need to do, and yeah, I think it will show a lot in these next 2 games.
And your coach said that this locker room has maybe been one of the tightest that you guys have had. Can you maybe speak to what has allowed you guys to be able to have that tight kinship, or whatever it may be that's allowed you guys to kind of stay there even when things have gone bad?
Yeah, I think a big part of it was our trip to Spain this summer. I think that was huge because we just spent a ton of time with each other, and I think, I mean, that just built our chemistry starting in the summer. I know, like, they're some of my best friends. Like, I'll be friends with them for life. I know these guys feel similar to that. Like, it's just a super tight-knit group, and I think it all goes back to just that week or week and a half we were in Spain, just kind of on our own, figuring out things, playing a little basketball, but just having fun with each other and getting to know each other. I think that's what it comes back to.
Walk 10 miles for a burger.
Any other questions for student athletes?
Cole, you're the only other one in this group that for sure won't be coming back, and you had a big game on Thursday. You know, what's it like for you being able to also kind of close out your career with a big game?
No, definitely. I mean, it's emotional. Like, it's kind of weird how it kind of happened so fast. Like, I feel like it's not too long ago I was coming as a freshman, and it people tell you it goes by fast, but it really does. And kind of just the way it's ending right now, I want to finish it strong with these guys, and it's no other team I'd want to do it with than these guys. So we're excited about that. But no, it's definitely emotional, and I just want to end it strong. So.